Hey guys, we are back with a very special couple. They are friends to the room. They're actually friends to our neighborhood.
Yes. Y'all, welcome. It is, we are officially all the way into the Eagle Talk Date Night Challenge.
We are.
And Corey and I were thinking about just having different couples that we love and admire and just are doing life with. And I thought about Deb and Rick.
Welcome, guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So Deb and Rick are our neighbors. We've been knowing each other almost 3 years now. And you ever met somebody new? They're just like a kindred spirit just from the very first moment that you meet them. And that's how it was when I saw. Well, actually, this is how I first learned about Deb, because I lived in the neighborhood first, and everyone in the neighborhood liked my house until they went to Deb's house.
Right, that is true.
We have the same house.
Well, we have the same floor plan.
We have the same floor plan.
Yeah.
But my house is not Deb's
That's
house.
not true. That's not true.
So what happened is the people, the girls in the neighborhood, it was very small knit at first. They were like, look, we went for a wine walk. We have these monthly gatherings where all the ladies would meet at the park with your beverage of choice, and we just walk around. And I guess you came to a wine walk that I was not at. That was your first one. And you invited everyone to your house. And they were like, Pottery Barn went in there and
No,
had a
that's not
baby.
true.
And Z Gallery, and it's just amazing. So
Thank you.
where did you get your style, your design style
Listen,
from?
I have loved this ever since I was a child, playing with my little dollhouse, and it's my hobby. It's an expensive one, but it's my hobby.
And look, the Rick is smiling too,
Yeah.
so he's okay with
He
it.
knows.
It is an expensive hobby.
Yeah.
Cosign.
In 35 years, we've probably owned 18 sofas.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Seriously.
that's one every 2 years. That's about right. And
Yeah.
the first one looks very similar to the 18th. I can't tell the difference.
She's like the lines. It's a
Yeah.
little
Except I
sleeker.
see them in our children's homes.
Yes,
Oh, okay.
yes. They get the benefits of it.
Look, that's what I was gonna say, y'all. When we have garage sales in our neighborhood, y'all need to hit me up, not to come to my house, but to go to Deb's house.
Right.
But one thing, because I did go to Deb's house nosy on Halloween. Trick or treat. Can I see your house?
Yes. Come on in.
And y'all were the most gracious people I've ever met in my life.
Thank you.
Yes. Just Rick was pouring wine.
I'm about to
Deb
say it
was-
right. Yeah, cheese
Yeah.
and just everything flowing.
It was so sweet.
We love a party, that's for sure.
They do love a party.
Yeah.
Well, tell us a little bit about your relationship.
So ours is one of 35 years, been together, married for 33. We have somewhat of an unusual one from the standpoint that we have moved 19 times in that 33 years. And some of them were big state to state moves, and
Wow.
some within the same state. So, I mean, we've developed that sense of adventure and loving to travel. And sometimes even now we're getting the itch like, oh God, I'm ready to go. Let's go find somewhere else to go.
Don't go. Don't go.
But yeah, so 33 years. It's sometimes we sit down and we have 2 daughters and 2 granddaughters, and we are like, oh my God, we're grandparents. Like we literally say that. It's
Now, were
the
the
best.
19 times, was that primarily job based? Just moving
It's
around for
yeah.
work?
So we followed his career, and we both work for global companies. So we wouldn't accept a transfer unless it worked for both of
Got
us
it.
financially. And there are some that we denied. And I know you're from Chicago, but we did deny Chicago
I'm
a few
mad.
times
Yeah,
because
smart
I
move.
did not want the cold.
Yeah, or the
So,
snow.
Yeah, but there was several that he got offered, and we were like, no.
We always have fun moving too.
We do.
We get to meet new people,
Like you
new
guys.
folks,
Yeah.
and, new neighborhoods and new experiences. So, and we've got it down after 19 times. We've kind of figured out how to get it done. So.
Yeah.
You've got to
For
go.
sure.
So one thing that I love, so Deb and I have just become just really good buddies. We walk together. She's offered her beautiful home to me several times for me to record content, and just, I mean, honestly, just on a lot of different levels, you have definitely been my person. And one thing though is when you're around somebody hanging out, you get to observe the relationship, right? You get to observe the way they interact with each other. And I never forget one time we were at your house, and I think it was you, me, and Susan, and you were sitting at the counter, and she was like, look, Rick, like she saw Rick kind of stirring about. She was like, I bet when he comes over here, he's gonna slap me on my ass.
She said
She did.
And you did.
She said every time he walks past me, and in these 33 years, he has smacked me on my butt. And I was just thinking,
usually just a graze.
It's just a graze. It's an accident.
All right.
It's just a little graze, but yeah. Clearly his love language is physical touch.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
For sure.
but I love that. I love that even, and you all have been through different seasons, raising your girls since they were younger, to the teenage years, I can only imagine, to now empty nesters, grandparenting. But there is still that flirtatious energy. I feel it when I'm with y'all. I know that sometimes when I talk to you, you're like, me and Rick, we're gonna go have a quick lunch or do something like that. And it looks like, at least from the outside looking in, that marriage, I definitely see y'all doing your own thing and hobbies, but it looks like you've done a really good job of prioritizing each other. Why have you done that?
You want to take this?
Hard work. There's been some hard times. There's been some hard work associated with it, but for the most part, it's just natural. It just happens.
We're both committed to it happening. Maybe.
Yeah, I always tell her that if I die tomorrow, I'm going to have so far exceeded my expectations in life and marriage and children and everything. And to know that I've been blessed and I'm completely happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we both feel the same way. Like you don't want to leave anything unsaid.
Yeah.
Ever, It's kind of how we roll, you know. And that took years, though. I mean, you guys are younger than us, so when you're first starting out, it's all that, this is going to be great. And then the kids come, and we're both career people. Our careers, we're dedicated to that. You have all these fighting forces coming at you, and then we start fighting with each other and figuring it out. I think the key for us has been just talking through it. I mean, just no matter what, we're committed to making this work. Figure it out. And it's hard to have those hard conversations, right? Isn't it hard to say, listen, I'm pissed and this is why, right?
No.
And this is what I need, or he was way better at it than I am.
At what?
At kind of
He's like, he's good at everything.
No, saying what you want. Like, and you taught me
I
that.
say what I think.
Yes, without a doubt.
do that.
Yeah.
But that's good though, because a lot of times on here, especially talking marriage, we talk about communication.
Oh,
And
yes.
I think that's, not the biggest, but that's definitely one of the biggest pieces, to
It is 100% that. Because I think that's what makes people kind of separate is they get to that certain level where they just don't want to have those tough conversations. And
or have any conversations. Like, one thing that I think about is that, at some point we think that our spouse or even just the people around us are mind readers.
Yes.
And when we're not communicating, or I'll say this, like, it's amazing, like, where your mind will take you. There have been situations with Corey. I mean, I could think about when we were, young married, or even before we got married. Like, if he was 30 minutes late, like, my man would take me like he had a whole family.
Yes.
30 minutes. Right.
Or like, that's extreme, but, or in the, we had a conversation with our son recently. We had to, have a critical conversation with our 10-year-old. And he was like, well, y'all don't like me. And it's like, why would you do that?
Yeah.
But if we are never having those conversations and really saying what's on our heart and communicating and just let our mind wander, it's a dangerous place.
Yeah.
It really is.
Especially as it relates to relationship.
Yep. And, we love to travel. So we've had some of our deepest conversations when you're stuck in that car, right?
Yeah.
Where you're forced to talk to each other. I mean, from just conversations about anything and everything. what do you think heaven's like? What things happen when we die? Like all of those, deep conversations. So
No, but that's good. So let me ask you this, because I think that we have those too. And I think a lot of those conversations are in like unfamiliar places, right?
Yes.
It could be on the beach. It could
Yep.
be, just, out of town somewhere. And we're just sitting on the balcony late night, just,
Yep.
unwinding from the night, having a really good conversation. So, and speaking on that, where are and this is the date night challenge month.
Mm-hmm.
So where are some of the places that you guys like to travel to, and what is something that you guys like to do? Let's just say locally
For dates.
2 different date nights.
Yeah.
So, we're now going to be taking on a weight loss challenge. So everybody,
We just talked about that last week.
We did.
listen, you need to have us back in a year because we're going to meet our goal. Right? It'll be about goal, but seriously, we all tend to go out to dinner, right?
Yes, that's what I thought.
And I kind of get tired of going
Yeah.
out to dinner and then you're disappointed or you don't like it. But we want to take a pasta making class. We like to do activities, stuff like that. So, right now we're in vacation planning mode. We plan, like we've got next year and the year after already planned and
Oh,
booked.
wow.
So
where you going?
so next year, and we do some with family, some with friends, but there's some off limits. They're by ourselves,
Yes, just for
hands
you.
down.
Yeah.
The one we're planning for 2 years from now in 2024 is France,
Oh, that one.
Switzerland, and Africa.
Yeah,
We're doing all 3. And
Normandy's on my bucket.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I have to see Normandy and pay my respects to the people that were before us and in our country and this world. And so it's something that I've always wanted to see. So we're going to do Normandy for a couple days, Paris for a couple days, and then go down into Burgundy and then into France and Switzerland.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's how many weeks is the trip?
It's probably going to be 12 days
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Well, we're going to do Africa safari too. So
Oh,
Oh yeah.
when she retires.
when she retired, and that's coming soon. Okay, so that leads us to a good pivot, right? Because I know that there are, I just imagine, I know in Corey and I's in 16 years of being married, 27 together, there have just been lots of different seasons and pivots in our relationship. And you all have recently experienced a pivot where, Deb, you're still working full time. Rick transitioned and retired.
Rick is a semi-pro golfer, may I say?
yes.
And then you also started an inspection company. But talk to me about what that has looked like, and we can talk about this transition, but like just in different stages of life where all the different stuff is going on. Maybe we don't have the same cadence. We're not quite on the same page, but still prioritizing each other. How does that present itself?
So let me just say, I didn't think this one through when I was like, he was 32 and I was 23, and I'm going, oh, he's older.
We aren't that far apart. But that's okay.
But I never thought that far ahead. Oh, now he's retired and he's finishing before me.
For
But
you, yeah.
actually, I'm super happy that he's retired because I've seen him work so hard his whole life, and this is what we've worked for, and we built this so that we could do this.
And we talk about when you retire and how much fun it's going to be.
We do.
He's like, it's so fun, baby.
Yeah,
Wait till you get there.
Hard at first.
it was for you.
At first, I didn't know what to do because I was used to working 12 hours a day easy and being on 24 hours a day, a phone call, having to go somewhere, having to do something, and always something on my plate. And at first I was lost. I didn't know what to do. And then we bought a home, and the inspector, we did the home inspection thing, and then the light went off. And I'm like, that could be really fun. So I
different
took
from what
all
he
the
did.
classes, learned how to do it, and now I do it. And I absolutely love it. It fits my personality perfectly.
Yeah.
I just love helping people, and
Attention
I
to
get
detail.
paid. I get paid to help people.
Yeah, that's how I feel about real estate. Just get paid to help people. And then, so now that was a transition. How did it look like? What did date nights and dates and spending time together look like when the girls were little?
Oh,
it has changed completely.
Yeah, we couldn't wait to get out of the house. Now, keep in mind, when we lived all over the country, his parents are in Washington State. Mine were in Massachusetts. Like, we had no family around us, ever.
We had
it's not
two
like we
different
could
kinds of
dump
date
the
nights.
kids at grandparents and stuff. So
We had, our normal date night was the company paid date night.
yeah. Yes.
All we could afford was for the company to pay for the babysitter.
Yes.
And for the meal, and then take somebody out to dinner or
Right.
to a show or something.
Yeah.
And then the other type of date night was, like Deborah just said, we didn't have family anywhere near us. So it was us and the children, and date night was us and the children.
Yeah, we did a lot. We took them on vacations with us, and you know.
Well, you said that a lot has changed. So what does it look like now? Just locally, if you want to do something on just a random Friday night.
It used to be go to a place that was active, that had a lot of activity going on, go to a show, go to a game, stay out till 11 or 12 o'clock at night.
Yeah, now we're like, ooh, Jesus.
Now
9?
it's evolved to a 5 o'clock reservation.
Yeah.
And we're home at 6 o'clock, 6:30 if we're partying. And watch a show and then go to sleep. So,
Look, what I will say though is at your house, if y'all ever have the privilege to be invited to their house, first of all, I see why you don't eat out. One time, Deb made me this salad, and I was like, she was like shredding. What kind of cheese were you shredding?
Oh, Parmesan.
But like with her whole setup is like, what am I doing with my life? And then like Rick, I kind of have bad news for you. Like he will beat you down before you drink the bottle of wine. No, the bottle. He's gonna keep refilling. And guess what? We gave up drinking.
Really?
We did. We are
20. Well, when they see it, it'll be over.
It'll
over
be
30
like
days.
40 days sober, but we stopped drinking
good
April
for you.
1st. Yeah. So that's just something like, again, new experiences, just really looking at just what we're doing and just like, you know what, let's challenge each other and then let's do it together.
Yes. So that's what we do. Do it together. It
Yeah.
makes it so much
So much
easier.
easier.
Yep.
Yeah. No, that
And
is.
we don't know that it would be forever, by the way, because we're just trying.
I know.
What you-
We're just
Here's
no. What
what-
happened was the Eagle Talk conversations. We sat down one day and we just looked at the pandemic, right?
Yep.
What we were able to do in the last 2 years, kind of confined into our space and to not really moving around. And then we just had a conversation in Jamaica last month, March, right?
In March.
Yeah, and we was like, let's really just challenge ourselves to see if we can just get focused, no distractions, with just sober minds 24/7,
Yep.
and just see what the outcome is. And that's where we are right
That's
now.
where we are forever. Look, forever, Corey.
Yeah.
Look, Corey, we said that we were giving it up forever, and then every now and again, Corey be like, "I wonder if we ever go drink." Now, if we
I will admit, I'm finding some nice non-alcoholic beverages, by the way.
Okay.
yeah. We getting fancy. We getting fancy.
Well, we can figure something out.
Oh, that was like when you come over, I'm gonna have some rose water.
Right.
I'm going to make you a version of an Aperol spritz.
Yes, you know it.
Yeah. So challenge.
It's been fun so far, I will say.
I will let you know.
Good for you guys.
Let's close out. I just want to know, like, if you are talking to, because some couples are struggling, right? And just struggling with the fact that I think that a lot of times marriages end or grow apart, and it's not a big thing. It's not a financial crash, and it's not a adultery. It's just these
Bunch of little things.
Yeah.
bunch of little things that you look up and you're with a stranger. So if you just was able to just speak life into someone who's just kind of on a brink of like, I see it, like I could see, it's like toying with the idea of what would my life look like without them. And of course, if you're in an abusive situation or
Right.
something like that, that's
Completely
not
agree.
what we're talking about.
But we don't want just we grew apart or just irreconcilable differences, right? What does that really
Yep.
mean?
Yeah.
We want to make sure that the people that want to try and succeed at it, we're actually giving them some tools.
Yeah. So what would you say to them?
For me, I would probably remember your commitment. Remember that feeling you had when you first met each other, talk through it. That's just like you guys probably. You got to talk through it because we're all coming into this relationship with baggage from your family, baggage, like things we weren't taught. Like I used to give him the silent treatment. He loved the silent treatment. Okay, and I'm thinking, I'm the one.
Right.
He's like, sweet, this is great. And I'm thinking, what? So.
Wait, Rick, why did you love the silent treatment?
Because I'm not talking. I'm not having to bring up what I'm mad about, right? So
I've never heard it put that way, but I so love that you said it that way because I totally get it. And you really think you're doing something, but you really not.
Right. And I was making myself mad.
Yeah.
And
the voices in your head was kind of like, and he like, dude.
He's chilling, watching the game. Yeah.
And I don't know if you guys would agree with this or not, but most of the time when you're having issues with your mate, we always tend to point the other way, like, oh, it's him. And it's really
That's
not.
kind of where I was going to go.
It's yourself.
Yeah.
It's, you got to figure out, for me, it was figuring out what I want, how to communicate, get through to him so that he can meet me where I'm at, right?
Well, for me, it's similar, but I would say that I learned this in my professional life, and that is to show empathy.
Yep.
And that isn't to capitulate or give in. It's just to simply understand somebody else's perspective.
Yeah.
So, what is important to you is different than what is important to me from an activity perspective. And sometimes you do things that I don't understand, and over the years, I've kind of learned I don't have to understand. I just have to understand that it's important to you.
Yes.
And that it makes you happy. And to do the same thing, and really just about, you can apply it to just about every situation.
Yeah.
If we're arguing, I have to have the ability to put myself in your position and understand things from your perspective.
Yeah, I think our pastor says, and I'm going to totally chop it up, that in every dispute or disagreement, how does it go?
He says in every disagreement, everyone has something to apologize for.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So even so to your point, even if it's just, you know what, and sometimes we like, if that made you mad, but like, no, like, you know what, I understand that you're upset, and I'm sorry if what I said contribute. Like, even if you don't understand, even if like the garbage does need to be taken out before we get wrapped, but if the way I said it was the way, you know, like, I apologize for that. So no, I love that. Empathy is a game changer in life, especially in marriage. Yeah, especially in marriage.
So, like, I guess recapping, like, look internally first before looking over, at your partner, and just, again, communicate, talk it through, because all I can say is if we would have given up back in our 40s when things got tough, or in our 30s, man, let me tell you, when you're on this side, we've enjoyed every little, stage of our life.
Your butt.
But right now, this stage of our lives, when you can see your kids be parents, and you see both of our daughters have great marriages, that they're better at it than we are, So that's
but you model that.
But they see what you model. Even if you didn't do it
rewarding.
100% right, they see what you model.
Yeah.
And listen, we're not the poster children for a perfect marriage, but we've just.
I think we're pretty close.
That's good stuff.
No,
well, what I see is friends.
Yeah.
But we are.
Yeah.
Definitely that, for sure.
Oh, well, we love you. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Well, thank you guys for coming.
Thank you.
Did y'all walk or drive over?
We drove.
I drive to your house every time.
It's gotta be 2 blocks.
Yeah, I know, right? I was just wondering if y'all just held hands, just walking 2 blocks down the street, or
No, damn, got on heels. No, she's not walking heels.
Okay.
Well, y'all, we are so excited. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Yes, and for this episode. Remember, we have a couple weeks left in the Eagle Talk Date Night Challenge. So # Eagle Talk Date Night Challenge. We're doing weekly giveaways, and we want to see, how are you dating your spouse? Put a comment, reach out to us in the private Facebook group. We're just so excited to have wonderful couples like this one pour into your marriages. I hope y'all learned something today. I for sure did. Did you learn something, Corey?
Empathy.
Oh, listen. This is counseling. Well, we appreciate you, and we'll see y'all next time.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.